Hey guys, welcome to Big Sister. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Wherever you are, hey, hi-ho. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to my videos. I appreciate those of you who have been subscribers, new to my channel. Please explore my playlist, see what I have going on here. And guys, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Giving it a thumbs up is going to allow my video to circulate a little bit more and people will discover my channel and get a chance to enjoy the content just as you are. So the other day I was doing a video and we spoke about, and I mentioned actually about being friends with your ex. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer here because this is not something to insult anybody or to make anybody feel bad. There are people who are friends with their exes and they say they're better friends than ever. There are people who have married people and then they're like the best of friends now. Everybody's situation may be different. Everybody's situation may be unique, okay? But I just have a perspective about exes. I'm not being your friend. I don't hate you. I'm not hateful. I'm not saying anyone to be mean-spirited and hold bitterness and resentment against your ex and to talk bad about them and to post bad things about them. I'm not saying anything like that. But as far as like being your friend, like we're going to become best friends and you're going to still call me and we're going to be talking, I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay? You're my ex for a reason. And once you're an ex, we can never be best friends. We can never be friends. And this is what I believe. I'm going to tell you, hear me out, hear me out. Again, as I said, not every situation is exactly the same. But I feel like, have you ever really discussed why you and your exes are so much better friends? Well, this is my take on it. It's because they no longer have any more of an obligation to give you the things that you've wanted. They no longer have an obligation to be faithful and loyal to you anymore. So you're likable again. Okay? I believe that once you become lovers, you were married, you were in a relationship. I think the only way that you can say, well, we can be friends is if you guys are friends, right? And then maybe you guys start talking, realizing you actually have feelings for each other. That's more than friendship. And then you guys were talking about dating, but then you were like, nah, I don't want to mess up what we have. Right? You may talk about it, but you don't cross the line. Because even if you've just kissed the person, you cross the line. Being platonic means you guys are genuinely just friends. You've never had any sort of intimate relationship or anything like that. You didn't date. It's platonic. And when it's platonic, meaning you haven't crossed any of those lines, you can genuinely just be friends. Okay? But once those lines have been crossed, you're never ever just going to be friends, because friends that are truly just friends are platonic. It's still an intimate partner. Even if you're not together, what connects you is the bonds of the relationship. Whether it's severed or not, you still have now, what you have left is a connection. It's not so much of a friendship as it's a connection. Okay? Because you really create a bond with this person. You got close, you went out, you look forward to seeing each other, you talked, you laughed, you guys were intimate, you kissed, you cried, you shared a secret. It's a connection, it's a bond that even when you break up, that's what keeps you. It's just that sometimes you're not even really aware of it. But let me tell you why I'm just not going to be friends with my ex. I don't want to. And it's not that I'm holding anything against him. It's just like, no, you will not have access to my life like that. No. You know what I'm saying? It's like you had access, you had, an all season pass, you had the VIP, You don't get that anymore when you're an ex, okay? So you don't get to know how my day is going and what I'm doing and what I'm doing for my birthday and how I'm feeling today and what's going on in my new relationship, what's going on in my marriage, how my day was. And I don't want to know about your day. I don't want to know about your day. I don't want to know about your new relationship. I don't want to know about what a bad day you had. I don't need to be reminded it's your birthday. You don't need to remember my birthday. I don't want you to vent to me. I don't want to vent to you. I don't want you coming to me and talking to me about your wife and your new girlfriend. Nah, I don't think so. I don't think so. And as much as this sounds crass, guys, and heartless, you have to realize when you've been with someone, you've already created a bond. And these conversations will only rekindle it. So, nope. And the reason why that is not because I am salty, as some people say, which means I'm still holding some sort of resentment and bitterness and I am upset or I'm not over you. But the fact is, I am over you, which means I don't want to know any of that stuff anymore. Okay? Now, I don't want anything to happen to my ex. I don't want him to get hit by a car or something terrible to happen. But you're just no longer, this person is no longer there like that. And I believe a lot of times what happens with people is that they have this connection that they haven't severed. And to me, what happens is your ex sort of still, what it is, there are qualities, what I believe, okay, is that there are actually qualities about you. There are things about you that your ex like, or you may like about your ex. And it's like you get to salvage the parts that you want from this person, the things that may be even a benefit to you, or you like that they were a good listener. You like that you were able to have great conversations with them. You like that if you need help, they'll show up. And so you get to salvage and take those little parts of them without committing to them. And then there's some people, they have the ex around and they are totally taking advantage of them. They're like, we're friends, but you're calling on them to do all sorts of things, or the person's calling you to do all sorts of things. They may already have a boyfriend or girlfriend, but you're the person that they can say, hey, can you go across town and get this for me? Can you pick this up for me? Can you help me out with this? And you find yourself like being on the sidelines, or they're calling you to tell you about what happened and this bad day that they had, and you're still sharing. And I'm telling you, you are never just a friend, because 9 times out of 10, or at least one point or another, even when you're ex, somebody is going to reminisce about a moment you guys had together. Or if they have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, husband or wife, somebody's going to say something where you're going to make either a joke or make a comment about something where you're going to either compare the husband or the wife to yourself, or something that they like that they wish that you have, that they wish their wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, partner have. And that's one of the things that's one of the reasons why you can never be friends, because what it is that you just still have a connection. And for me, this is how I see it. You had full access. Your boyfriend, your ex had full access to you. They would have received the best of you. They should have received the best of you, or maybe the best you can be at that time. And for whatever reason, it ended. Whether it was they cheated on you, oh my gosh, especially if they cheated on you and you remain friends with someone that cheated on you, okay. No, you did not. No, you did not. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that. Let's hold that for a second. But we've been together already. And so when you are boyfriend and girlfriend and you are dating, once you become a friend, you've literally been demoted. You've been demoted, okay? And it's like you got fired. And I'm just keeping it real. And it's like if you got fired from a job, but you keep going in, you can't even punch in anymore because you don't have the card or whatever to punch in, but you just keep showing up every day. I'm like, hey, is there anything I can help with around here? You're not getting paid. You see? And I would say being friends with your ex in remaining friends when you're just really involved in each other's lives. It's sort of like being on clearance. And now you've been marked down to 75%, and it's like, yes, I'll buy it. Except they're not buying you, you know? So if you think there's something you really like, you think of like maybe something on Ralph Lauren, or you go on Gucci or whatever it is. It may not even be that. It could be something at Target you like, but you just don't like the price. But let's talk about high end, because you are of value. So you imagine that there is this watch or this outfit that you like. Perhaps it's something by Fendi, Versace, whatever, and you want it, but it's too expensive. And you may have the money, but you just don't really want to spend that money, right? So you just wait until you hope it gets marked down. Whereas there's somebody like, hey, I love it, it's worth it, boom, they just drop the cash, whatever, and they're going to buy it. But you watch it for a little bit, okay? And when it marks down, it's on clearance, it's gone down by 75%, or you see it, someone gave it away, and you see it at a consignment store or something, you go and you buy it, right? Because it was on clearance. And that's kind of what happens when you're still friends with an ex. Why? Because they no longer have the obligation to marry you, to protect you, to provide for you, to build with you. They no longer have to try to understand you on that level and go through the thick and thin, the highs and the lows with you. They don't have to do that, and still get to enjoy the benefits of you, of what they like about you. I can call you and talk to you. I can still know what's going on in your life. They have the ability, your ex, who is your ex for whatever reason, have the ability to hear about what's going on in your life now and ask you questions. Well, is he like me? Is she like me? Does she do this? Oh, are you doing this to her? You know how you were with me? What? No. You see? And a lot of times, guys, remember there are some exceptions. No, they should not be given that access at all. They should not be given that access, because in reality, you're being salvaged. In reality, you are now on clearance, and now they have this other version of you. It's still you, but it doesn't put any pressure on them now to meet your needs, or to reach your standards, or whatever you wanted from them. They don't have to give these things to you anymore, but they can still get a part of you that they enjoy without having to just meet your expectations as you had before. And guys, that's basically being treated like a salvage yard where they get the parts they need. You see what I'm saying? So you were not worth keeping for whatever reason. Maybe it was malicious, and other times just the maturity level just wasn't there. No, the person may not have understood and sometimes it's not even about cheating. The person was just busy. They're busy with school, they're busy with work, they're busy building themselves. They just don't have time for a boyfriend or girlfriend. They don't have time. They're just really just focused on things, whether it's sports, whether it's school, whether they're starting a business, and it's just completely harmless, right? It just didn't work out. But nevertheless, they just did not have the time for you. So, okay, it's understood. But now you can't go off to being put on clearance, and now this person they can make time for whatever they want to take and salvage from you, hearing your voice, hearing your encouragement, without completely committing, without having to change your schedule for you, without trying to figure out, how do I fit her, how do I fit him into my life, because they're very important to me. Maybe I have to cut back on certain things, or I'll have them here to go with me and do these things, or maybe I need to let go of this particular thing if I want my relationship to work. They were not willing to do that. fault them. That's their choice. But they're your ex for a reason. And sometimes when you have that ex that just wants to be want to be in your life and still want to call you up and knowing your business, and you're thinking it's cute because he or she sounds like they're jealous because you moved on, that has nothing to do with it. And I'm going to tell you why. Sometimes, especially if you had an ex that had a wandering eye and a wandering body, sometimes they're attracted to the idea that, or the fact that you're no longer theirs. There are people who are addicted to the chase. So even though they've had you already or they've been with you, the fact that you may be in another relationship, or you're no longer the main girl, you're no longer their boyfriend or their girlfriend, fiance, whatever, they become attracted to you because they're attracted to anything they have to chase. Anything that may already, or a person when you're taken already. Don't you know that there are people like that? If you're in a relationship with someone else, they want you because they like the hunt. But once they have captured you, had you, they're bored. They're looking somewhere else. So he or she, you end up having these conversations that friends don't have about, well, is she like me? Is she better than me? Oh, does she do this? Do you do that? Oh, excuse me. No. It's very easy to cross the line because there's no line to cross. You already crossed it. You're just connected now. You understand that? There's no line to cross. You've crossed the lines already. Those lines have already been muddled and they're all intertwined. You're just still connected. And a lot of times you just haven't let go of the person. Or the person, they're friends with all their exes. You're just one of them. So for this one, he or she may call for this, another for that, and then you're for this. And then if this one didn't pick up, then they're going to call you. And you're just in this little group. So what do I believe? And I'm sorry, I do believe I already spoke about if someone's cheated on you. They cheated on you and they dogged you out and you guys are still the best of friends. How? How does that happen? How? Oh, I've forgiven him. I forgave her. Okay, but that does not mean that they still have access and can call you and can ask you all these different things and get it. They don't deserve that. This is a person that betrayed you and hurt you. And then dumped you, or you dumped them. They should not be given that access, you see. But me, this is what I believe. You will not have access in my life as an ex. You're an ex for a reason, and I need not forget that. And what will happen is, if you're not remembering why someone is your ex, you're going to fall into what's called, in my opinion, the Stockholm Syndrome, where with enough time talking to them and enough they're talking to you so much, or you're so caught up in this friendship phase that you lose sight of what happened. Not that you should be holding on to things, but you need not forget why this person is this way. And eventually their charm and everything about them can really wear down at your common sense, and you find yourself being back with them again, or enamored by them again, or you find yourself really getting involved in their connection so much to the point that you don't have an opening in your heart for your current relationship. You cannot give the person all of yourself because you have this part of your heart and part of yourself that's still connected to your ex. So you can't give this to your wife, your husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay? And then sometimes because you're still connected, you're not in a position where you can really move on and have a healthy relationship with someone else, because your ex is still renting out a space in your mind and in your heart. When your relationship comes to an end, for whatever reason, you try to be as amicable as possible, try to be as civil with each other as possible, but we know sometimes that does not happen. Whether it's you guys are able to really part ways respectfully, or if it was just savage and, Jerry Springer style, whatever it is, you have to realize that you created a bond, and this is not someone that you can just be friends with, because you are connected and you have created a bond. And bonds can cause you to lose sight of certain things. Bonds can cause you to just be comfortable. Bonds that you have with another person can take away from your current relationship. Bonds that you've created with someone can also cause you to be somewhat biased, where you're not able to really hear your present partner, or you're not in a position to move on with anyone else because you guys are already connected. And it does not put you in a place to be free to really heal, because you still have the virus nearby. So how can I get better if I'm still drinking out of the same cup that I was drinking out of when I was sick? I didn't wash it, I didn't disinfect it, I didn't toss it. Or you have that teddy bear or that stuffed animal that you love, because I love stuffed animals, FYI. And let's say I was really sick and I had a really bad virus and sickness, and I had that thing close to me as I coughed or whatever. And then I get better and I heal, but I still keep going and cuddling with that same little plush because it's my favorite. Well, no matter how much I wash it and no matter what I try to do and disinfect it, deep down in all the whatever makes up plushies and the fluff and the stuff, there are just these areas that cannot be reached, and I keep getting sick over and over again, or I'm stuck with it, right? I'm just going to live with it no matter what. You have to make that break in that connection, because we are connected. And because we are connected and we made a connection and we created a bond, we cannot just really be friends realistically. And I have to be in a position where I accept that it's over. I don't want to salvage parts of my ex. Oh, I love your laugh. Oh, you were so funny. Oh, I enjoyed the intimacy with you. Oh, I enjoyed that. This was good. That was good. No, I don't want to salvage anything when there's someone that is able to give me all of those things. I can get it all in one place. And I don't want to have to compare goods and wares. Oh, these apples more plump over here, or are they plumper on that side? I don't want to reminisce. I don't want that. I don't want anyone who feels that they can still have access to me after they have hurt me, let me down, or was not able to meet my needs, whatever it was, or they disrespected me. I was not important enough to them. I was just someone else at the time. I don't want to play the other woman now, or I don't want to play the person you can call and talk to like you did in the relationship. I don't want that, because sometimes, guys, a person is just attracted to you because you are no longer there. And if it was just that was in their nature, you find yourself, you become what hurts you. You become the side chick, or you become the guy that she's calling, talking to, doing the same thing to the guy that she did to whoever she's with, to you. Or you find yourself somehow being connected and used, and what can you do or say? She's not obligated to be with you anymore. But you keep giving. You're still connected. When it comes to an ex, it's like, deuces, goodbye. Thank you for the time. I remember the good times we've had. The bad times have taught me some things. I will not hold on to it to hate you, but I need not forget why. And with that being said, it means this is cut off and you go on about your merry way. If I see you, if I happen to work with you, which I shouldn't be making that mistake, I see you, good morning, goodbye, that's it. You don't need to know anything about me, because we're over and we are done. And that is how you kind of keep your value, okay? Because the person cannot just keep frequenting and coming in your life and asking questions and taking things for granted. You're being taken for granted for free, okay? Without even a commitment. I can still call her. I can still talk to him. I can still do whatever. No, you can't. Being with me was an opportunity. Being with you was an opportunity. It did not work out. So be it. C'est la vie. Mea culpa. Going about your business. And that's it. Don't ask me questions. Don't call me. I mean, if you're on the side of the road and you were hurt, yes, I will stop and make sure that you're okay. That has nothing to do with an ex or what you should hate the person. This is about being a human being. If someone is hurt and someone is really in a bad place, yes, you will stop and you get them the help they need. I do not become your physician, your nurse. I'm not your full-time caregiver. I'm going to get you to the people who can help you, because I have to realize that I can no longer allow myself to get that involved. We're just really, guys, in a society where people are never letting go, and they have all these nettles of relationships and best friends, and we're better friends. No, it's just a bunch of connections. And when you're connected to a bunch of different things, if you can imagine it, it's like an extension cord from the old days. You plug it in and you have all these connections, or you think of the, what do you call those things that they have? I'm looking at one and I can't think of the name. But instead of having everything plugged into the wall, you have that main one that you have on the floor. And I can't think of the name for some reason. You can put about 6 to 9 or 10 plugins, and then the main one in the wall. You're just plugged into a bunch of different people, and that's why people are confused. That's why people continue to make bad decisions. In my opinion, they cannot really find any relationship that is actually healthy and stable, because you have all these connections. And some people, they enjoy it. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is working for me. If it's working for you, cool. But that is just my opinion. You're my ex for a reason. You need to know that we're exes, and exes mean exit. X means no access. You walk towards a door and it's got the big 2 yellow strips of paper going to an X. You know you cannot go into the door, and that's what it is. Are no longer available to you. And you should be in a place where you get your healing, you get better, you learn your lessons. You do self-reflection and realization. What could I have done better? How did I contribute? What did I allow? You learn from it. You stop doing the things you're doing if you're doing things that was wrong and unhealthy. And it puts you in a better place, not only for someone else later on down the line, but just as a person, as a human being. For peace, for happiness. And so you don't go to the next relationship doing the same thing you were doing before and replicating that hurtful and toxic cycle. So this is my point, and that is what I believe about exes and where they ought to be. There's no way, in my opinion, that a person can go from being in a relationship with a person to becoming an ex, and then suddenly you're the best friend and the confidant. No, it makes no sense. And you cannot be an advisor. Let me just put it there. How can you advise him or her, or take advice from him or her on your relationship, or try to give him her relationship advice on their current relationship, where you did not know what it took to make it work for the both of you? Hello. You're disqualified. You have no idea. And being on the outside looking in, you don't know what's going on in his relationship, her relationship. You only know what they're telling you. And if you really pay attention, depending on how much access you've been giving him or her, you will find that you are now the opposite person. When you were her boyfriend, you were her girlfriend, whatever your relationship was, there was someone else they were talking to in some cases, or someone else that was in the wings. And now you become that. Now you're the chicken wing over here. You're the person they're calling, oh, I can't believe it. No, don't do that, because you know what? When you do things like that, you sow seeds. When you do that to someone else in their relationship, it's going to come back to you. And you're wondering why it seems like every relationship is like a booby trap. Because you're in a cycle of being connected to all these people. You're talking to this ex, that ex, talking to them. This one knows everybody. Everybody it's messy. You've got to just break free from all of that. No hard feelings. None whatsoever. But we're done. Because as long as you keep these little, it's like you become a hoarder. You've seen that show, Hoarders? All that stuff they collect, it's just a mess and they're weighed down. You find yourself still being in a cycle with people that you should have a long time ago dropped and move on from, so you can meet healthier people and have a different mindset and get your counsel and get your growth, but you still have these broken toys that you're not letting go of. Just because you're saying, you're still good to me. I love the way you sew on my buttons. Nah, it doesn't matter how tattered I get, you're always helping. Nah, I'm not helping. Nope. No. An X is 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 an X for a reason.